Hi everybody, hope all of you are well. Today we will revise the analytical chemistry part because previous class we have already completed this chapter. Today we will revise this chapter through year's question answer. First we will discuss this year, the current year 2020. In 2020, the first question is that distinguish between the following pair of compounds using a reagent on a chemical test. So distinguish between the following pairs. Following pairs of compounds using a reagent on a chemical test. First question is given that calcium nitrate and zinc nitrate solution. Zinc nitrate solution. Now what will be your answer? If we write calcium nitrate in this side and zinc nitrate this side, so you know that if we add ammonium hydroxide solution to calcium nitrate solution, there will be no reaction. So if we add NH4OH solution to calcium nitrate solution, then there will be no feasible reaction. Okay, but in case of zinc nitrate, if we use ammonium hydroxide, so if we add NH4OH to zinc nitrate solution, first a white PPT form and becomes soluble if we add excess NH4OH solution. So here you can understand that whenever we are adding that ammonium hydroxide to zinc nitrate solution, first there will be formation of zinc hydroxide, and if we add excess ammonium hydroxide, then there will be formation of tetramine zinc hydroxide solution, tetramine zinc nitrate solution. Okay, that will be soluble. Here you can give the reaction, but in this case calcium will not react with this weak base ammonium hydroxide. So in this way you can easily distinguish between these pair of compounds. One is calcium nitrate and another is zinc nitrate. So in this way you have to write, and if you want to write the chemical reaction, that will be the better answer. But if you write wrong chemical reaction, if your reaction is not balanced, or you have written the wrong answer or wrong reaction, then we can cut mark. Okay. Next one is given that ammonium sulfate and sodium sulfate crystals. One side is ammonium sulfate, another side is sodium sulfate crystals. So in case of ammonium sulfate crystal, if we add sodium hydroxide solution to NH4 whole twice support that ammonium sulfate crystal and is heated, then a pungent smell, ammonia gas will form that turns the Nessler reagent brown. But in this case, if we add sodium hydroxide, there will be no visible change. Okay. If we add NaOH solution to Na2SO4 crystals, there will be no visible change. Okay, so in this way you have to write the chemical distinguish. Here you can give the reaction also. So in this way you can write that ammonium sulfate is reacting with sodium hydroxide and forming sodium sulfate plus twice NH3 plus twice H2. Okay, so these ammonia gas we turn the Nessler reagent brown. Okay. Next, the third question is given in the year of 2020. Is magnesium chloride and magnesium nitrate solution. So in case of magnesium chloride, you can add lead nitrate solution, then there will be formation of lead chloride solution that will be soluble in hot water but insoluble in cold water. But if you add lead nitrate solution in magnesium nitrate solution, then there will be no visible change. Otherwise, you can take silver nitrate solution. In case of magnesium chloride solution, you will get heavy white PPT of silver chloride that will be soluble in ammonium hydroxide solution. And if you add nitric acid, again it will reappear. Okay. But in case of magnesium nitrate solution, if you add silver nitrate, then there will be no feasible reaction. Okay. So in this way, you can write the chemical distinguish or between these two pair of compounds or solution or salts. Next question is given that state one relevant observation for each of the following reaction. Addition of excess ammonium hydroxide into copper sulfate solution. Next you have to write that state 1 relevant observation for each of the following reaction. Here is given addition of excess ammonium hydroxide, addition of excess NH4OH ammonium hydroxide into copper sulfate solution. Now here all of you know that if we add excess ammonium hydroxide to copper sulfate solution, then there will be formation of inky blue coloration. Okay, so observation will be the formation of inky blue coloration of tetraamine copper sulfate. Observation formation of inky blue coloration of tetramine copper sulfate, tetramine copper actually tetramine copper sulfate is a complex compound, so actually your observation is this one, this is the inky blue coloration, okay, or you can write deep blue coloration, deep blue coloration. Here you should not write that pale blue PPT, because when we add very little 1-2 drop of sodium hydroxide to this ammonium hydroxide to this copper sulfate solution, then there will be pale blue PPT. You should not write this one. You have to write that inky blue coloration, okay, or inky blue solution. Formation of inky blue coloration or inky blue solution. Next question is given that write the reaction of lead nitrate solution with ammonium hydroxide solution. Write the reaction of lead nitrate solution with NH4OH solution. Here lead nitrate will react with ammonium hydroxide solution to form the chalky white PPT of lead hydroxide. Plus there will be formation of ammonium nitrate. Here if we add excess also, ammonium hydroxide will remain insoluble, okay. If we add the excess also, it will remain insoluble. So this will be the reaction of ammonium hydroxide with lead nitrate, that whenever you are writing the chemical reaction, the reaction should be balanced, otherwise we can cut off. Next we will discuss the year 2019. In the year 2019, the question came that distinguish between the following pairs of compounds using reagent given in the bracket: ferrous sulfate solution and ferric sulfate solution using sodium hydroxide solution. So, chemical distinguish between ferrous sulfate and ferric sulfate solution using sodium hydroxide solution. So one side you will write ferrous sulfate solution, and the side you will write ferric sulfate solution. If we add sodium hydroxide solution to ferrous sulfate solution, then a dirty green PPT precipitate of ferrous hydroxide is formed. But if we add NaOH solution to this ferric sulfate solution, then a reddish brown PPT of ferric hydroxide is formed. So from the change of color we can easily distinguish between this solution. In case of ferrous sulfate solution there will be Dedekind PPT of ferrous hydroxide. In case of ferric sulfate solution there will be reddish brown PPT of ferric hydroxide. Here also you can give the chemical reaction if you know the correct reaction. Okay. And next question came that give the chemical formula of sodium aluminate. All of you know that sodium aluminate is NaAlO2. NaAlO2. Actually, there is some confusion from this question. In your book, when you read the metallurgy chapter, then there is given that sodium aluminate formula is Na3Al. Actually, this formula is the sodium meta-aluminate, but here you can write that NaAlO2 as sodium aluminate. There will be no problem. In maximum places, it is written that sodium aluminate formula is NaAlO. Okay. Next, we will discuss the year 2018. That same question is repeated, that reaction of sodium hydroxide with iron 3 chloride. In case of iron 3 chloride, you have to write the balanced equation. Okay, so the equation will be FeCl3 will react with sodium hydroxide solution forming ferric hydroxide plus thrice NaCl. That will be the balanced reaction. Next question is given the reaction of zinc with potassium hydroxide solution. So zinc will react with potassium hydroxide forming the potassium zincate plus there will be formation of hydrogen gas. Next question is given that state 1 relevant observation. Lead nitrate solution is treated with sodium hydroxide solution dropwise till it is in excess. So if we add excess, there will be the formation of first chalky white PPT. When we are adding little, if we add excess, then it will be soluble, forming that sodium chloride, and that will be colorless. So first you have to write chalky white PPT, first will form. When you will add excess, then it will become colorless or soluble. Next question is given that give a chemical test between the following pair of chemicals: lead nitrate solution and zinc nitrate solution. So in case of lead nitrate solution, if we add that any chloride or diiodecyl, that will form the lead chloride. Okay, the lead chloride, you know that it is soluble in hot water but insoluble in cold water. But zinc nitrate, if we add any chloride salt or diiodecyl, then there will be no visible change. Otherwise, you can use ammonium hydroxide. In case of lead nitrate, there will be chalky white PPT of lead hydroxide. If you add excess ammonium hydroxide, then it will remain insoluble. But in case of zinc nitrate solution, there will be formation of first zinc hydroxide gelatinous PPT. But if you add excess ammonium hydroxide, then it will become soluble. Next one is given sodium chloride and sodium nitrate solution. Same thing you can do. In case of sodium chloride, you can add silver nitrate solution. There will be white PPT, cadi white PPT of silver chloride. And in case of sodium nitrate, there will be no such precipitation upon addition of silver nitrate, and the cardiovactivity of silver chloride will be soluble in ammonium hydroxides. So today I have already discussed the 3 years questions. Next I want to clear some doubts you have from this chapter. One student is asking that, sir, why zinc, lead, aluminium, this type of metals, okay, showing the amphoteric, their oxides, their hydroxides, showing the amphoteric nature. Actually, here, if we think about the zinc is a transition metal. It has both the properties of metal and non-metal. As well as, because of presence of d orbital, it can react also with the base. In case of zinc, if we think about the metal activity series, it is situated just below aluminium. So, as it is above hydrogen, so it can easily react with the acid. Actually, all metals have 3 electrons. Zinc also have 3 electrons. So, zinc has 3 electrons. It will give the free electron to H plus, and forming Zn2 plus twice H, and from this twice H you will get hydrogen gas. Okay, so there will be transfer of electron to H plus in this way. When you will go higher classes, then you can easily understand. Okay, so zinc is giving 2 electrons to 2 hydrogen plus. Okay, and in this way zinc forming Zn2 plus, and there will be formation of hydrogen gas. Okay, but whenever we are thinking about the sodium hydroxide, so zinc is reacting with twice H2O plus twice NaOH, forming the, actually it is forming the Na2Zn OH whole 4, okay, plus hydrogen. And there may be formation of other type of thing also, other type of ions also, like ZnOH ZnOH whole 4 minus 2, Zn2OH whole 6 minus 2, ZnOH whole 6 minus 4, okay, or Na2 ZnOH whole 4. So the point is that zinc does not react as an acid here, and in this reaction above, whatever you see here, okay, the reaction is not acid base reaction, but the type of the reaction is redox reaction. Okay, here also zinc is going to forming the zinc 0 to plus 2, and zinc is donating electrons. That is why it is acting as a, here zinc is reacting with a base, and it is donating electron, that means reacting as a base. But in the second case, it is a redox reaction, and these reactions are not so easy, very much complicated. Okay, and just for your level understanding, you can think that zinc is a transition metal which show moderate activity with the sodium hydroxide reaction also. So it has both the property of metal and non-metal. In case of lead, if you think that lead is in the group 40, carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, lead. If we go down the group, so carbon to silicon, carbon is non-metal, silicon, germanium is metalloid, but tin, lead, these are metals. So in the same group there is metallic, non-metallic, as well as metalloid property. So that is why they are showing this amphoteric nature. As well as some people will say that in case of zinc, that d orbital is already filled up, then how they are forming the complex like sodium zinc at Na2ZnO2. Actually, this zinc can utilize the outer sp and d vacant orbitals or vacant levels in forming this type of complex. Okay, so hope you can understand. So these are the special type of property of some metals. Tin also showing this type of property. Okay, showing that amphoteric nature. So in your level you only have to remember that in reacting this type of metal, their oxide and hydroxide reacts both acid as well as base. That is why they are called amphoteric. And another question asked by one student, that sir, why sodium carbonate, okay, and the acid reaction is a neutralization reaction? Yes, definitely it is neutral. Actually, sodium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate, whatever you are thinking, if you take the aqueous solution, the pH will be greater than 7. So these are weak bases. So that is why these type of reactions are called acid-base reaction. Okay. So if you think about one reaction, then you can easily understand that sodium carbonate, when it reacting with HCl, then it is forming twice NaCl plus CO2 plus H2. So actually what is happening, it will dissociate that twice Na plus in aqueous solution forming this carbonate, and this O minus will take up one H plus. First it will form C double bond OH and O minus. This is nothing but bicarbonate. That is why also bicarbonate HCl reaction is also a neutralization reaction. And if we add here another H plus, then it is forming one acid, that is nothing but carbonic acid. Now all of you know that it is not stable, so this will dissociate in this way, forming that carbon dioxide gas plus water. In the same way, if you think about the sodium sulfide, sodium bisulfide, when they will react with acid, that will be also a acid-base neutralization reaction. Hope you can understand. Okay. So today up to this. Thank you.